A medical emergency, we just don't know that yet because, again, the gears are engaged on the 18-wheeler, and as you can see, the back drive wheels are still turning, meaning to me that the person is not really aware of or not really reacting to the fact that the 18-wheeler is still in gear. And that's very strange to me if this were some sort of a criminal act.
Don, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, yes, and so now the more we think about it, we are wondering, could this be a situation where somebody did have some sort of medical episode? For the fact that this 18-wheeler was going only 5 miles an hour, that slow crawl that you were mentioning, and you know, the gears are still on, no movement whatsoever. So who knows? Who's to say what truly did happen here? But of course, that does cross your mind. So we're seeing these officers sort of just kind of like wait and see, right? At the moment until they assess it further and figure out what's the next step they want to take.
And to be honest with you, I'm really kind of surprised. And the vehicle may be on the way. The armored vehicle that most of the law enforcement agencies have around these parts, as well as the sheriff's department, that may be on the way. And it seems to me that that would be the easiest way to be able to take a peek inside the front window of the vehicle without endangering police officers' lives here. Maybe that's on the way, I'm not quite sure. It's a wait and see game at the moment anyway.
Yeah, and I'm sure that traffic is pretty heavy right now, so you know, these officers or whomever comes next will have to maneuver through all of that as well and try to figure it out. But yeah, as much as we would want them to see to get extremely close to this 18-wheeler and just sort of peek in, you can't really do that because you don't know the intention behind the person behind the wheel, if there is any sort of intention there.
Myra, we just overheard a conversation that Able One, which is the Sheriff's Department helicopter up here with us, that apparently the driver is waving at the officers down below. Now, we have not been able to see that because of our position here, which we have to hold because this is a police action and the police helicopter is up here. So we've got to stay where we are. But apparently, he's waving at the officers through the window.
Oh, got it. Okay, so John just giving us some new information that he just got wind of as the sheriff's deputy is flying up above, not too far from where ABC 13 SkyEye is. So yes, I guess if this person is waving, maybe some sort of
stay here, Dan.
surrender, or maybe just to say, hey, this is all a big misunderstanding. But it looks like hopefully we might get to the bottom of this shortly. If that driver behind the wheel is conscious and waving at officers, officers of course still have to be very meticulous and approach this in a very safe manner, because just because this person is waving and trying to get the attention of officers, they still have to be safe with their lives and make sure that this is not some sort of gimmick to try to get them closer and then something can happen from there. But as Don is sort of scoping around the area with this camera, you can see a lot of businesses and employees are sort of stepping out to see, hey, what's going on, which it's natural. Folks trying to figure out why there's a lot of traffic and why. I'm sure they're hearing two choppers now,
yeah.
ABC 13's chopper and the sheriff's deputy's chopper as well. So anytime somebody hears that above their building or their home, the first question is, okay, what is going on? What's happening? We live in such a big city where stuff like this unfortunately happens quite often. So of course, when you hear that sort of activity above you, the first instinct is for you to walk out and to sort of start checking what's going on. But that's why we're here for you on ABC13.com. We come on air and come on your tablets or your iPhones and whatnot to give you a scope of what's happening and try to give you all the details that we can. So at the moment, we're still trying to figure all of that out and sort it out. But these details usually pop up after the fact, once the deputies themselves have investigated and figured out what happened in this situation and how this all started. So at the moment, you'll hear us say a lot of, we heard over the scanners, and this is information that we were listening to. And again, that is a sort of third-party information, if you will. We have to wait for the investigators to give us the specific details into exactly how this all happened, the time, and how it all came to be.